Since its inception in 1982, Paradigm has become one of the largest speaker manufacturers in the world. At Audio Advice, we've had a great relationship with the team at Paradigm for years. We've always felt their products offer outstanding value when you compare them to others and have a super high level of craftsmanship. Today's review is on the premier lineup of speakers from Paradigm. Not only does this series offer great value, it also shares some of the same technology you'll find in Paradigm's top-of-the-line Persona models. If you want to read the full article on the Premier Series speakers, head over to audioadvice.com by clicking the link in the description. Along with this review, you'll find hundreds of other reviews, comparisons, buyer's guides, and so much more. Now, let's dive into the Premier Series speakers by Paradigm. The Premier collection has 2 tower speakers, 2 center channel speakers, and 2 bookshelf speakers. Paradigm set out to design a series for people looking to make that next step up into high performance, but who also wanted to keep the price in a reasonable range. While there are no subwoofers in the Premier series, you've got some great choices in the Defiance series that will match very well with any of the Premier models. Our only real complaint is the lack of a speaker system with Atmos elevation speakers built into the top. A few other brands offer this, and we think it's a great idea for people not able to get wiring into their ceiling. Paradigm does offer some architectural in-ceiling speakers which require mounting in your ceiling, but we would not be surprised to see some elevation speakers from them soon. Not only does the Premier series sound great, but they also have some nice finish options. You can choose between gloss black, gloss white, and an espresso grain finish. We'll first go over some of the tech the models share, then get into each individual model. One part of the speaker that has challenged designers for decades is how to keep a speaker's driver's cone stiff, yet still allow the signal to push and pull it with no distortion. Paradigm developed a new material they call Active Ridge Technology Surround, or ART Surround for short. When you see an ART Surround in person, it will strike you with a totally different appearance than you normally expect to see in a speaker. Every Premier speaker uses their ART tech, which reduces distortion by 50% over a typical surround and even allows the cone to have 3 decibels more output. When you couple the ART Surround with Paradigm's already great carbon-infused polypropylene cone, you have some pretty special drivers. The next piece of interesting tech is the Ppa Lens. When we saw our first Ppa Lens on the Persona prototype at CES a few years ago, we thought, why are they putting perforated cover over a speaker driver? It turned out the engineers at Paradigm discovered that the right type of lens in front of a driver could block the interaction of out-of-phase frequencies, which smoothed the output and allowed you to hear more superfine details. They call it their perforated phase aligning, or Ppa Lens. Every speaker in the Premier line uses the Ppa tech for speaker drivers, covering the upper end and the middle frequencies. The tapered cabinets used for the Premier series look great, but also serve an acoustic purpose. The non-parallel walls of the tapered cabinets greatly reduce internal standing waves inside the cabinets. The 100B is the only model that does not use this type of cabinet structure. When you look at these beautiful cabinets, you'll also notice the front is only about as wide as the biggest speaker driver. This slim design helps reduce diffraction, which results in better 3-dimensional imaging. While there is no brand new tech in the crossovers, Paradigm is famous for using only the highest quality crossover components. Now that we've gone over the shared technology, let's dive into each speaker model in the Premier series. First up is the Premier 800F. This slim, 4-driver, 3-way bass reflex floor standing speaker is the top-of-the-line model in the Premier series. With the front of the cabinet being only about 9 inches wide, these have a cool, slim look, especially in gloss white or an espresso finish. The dual 6.5-inch bass drivers of the 800F give you a super fast bass. Paradigm made the choice to go for speed and accuracy over reaching down to the lowest depths, as the frequency response has a 3 dB down point of 43 Hz. These have a speed and quickness to the bass that is quite remarkable for this price range. But if you want to feel that battleship roar in a movie like Midway, you want to add a Defiance Subwoofer. Their fairly high sensitivity of 92 dB means they are also extremely dynamic. The 700F is very similar to the 800F, with just a reduction in the driver size for the mid-range and also bass drivers. It's also a 4-driver, 3-way design with 5.25-inch mid-range and bass drivers. The sound is very similar to the 800F, And in some ways, we think the smaller drivers used are even faster. With an even slimmer cabinet than the 800F, they also present a spectacular soundstage. Like the 800F, they also have a pretty high sensitivity of 91 dB. We think pairing these with a great Defiance sub like the X12 makes for an awesome combination. The 200B is the larger of the two bookshelf speakers in the Paradigm lineup, and it is a pretty large bookshelf model standing at almost 14 inches tall. The 200B uses the same tweeter as the other models, coupled with the same 6.5-inch bass driver used in the 800F. These guys reach really deep for a bookshelf speaker, with their 3 dB down point being 55 Hz. Their sensitivity is also very good for a bookshelf at 90 dB. The 100B is the only model without the tapered cabinet design, but it does have the exact same speaker tech as all of the other models. While the 100B is still very sensitive at 90 dB, it only reaches down to 68 Hz. For a full range of music, these really need to be used with a subwoofer. If you couple them with a Defiance X10 and set the crossover at about 80 Hz, you'll have an awesome combination. These also make great side and rear speakers in a home theater configuration. Up next are the center channels. We think the 600C may be the very best center channel value on the market today. And if you have the space for it, this is the one you should pair up with any combination you put together using the Premier series. It's got 2 of the 6.5-inch bass drivers with 2 6.5-inch passive radiators, a special 4-inch driver for the mid-range, and the same tweeter all of the models have. It weighs in at 43 pounds, and it's almost 3 feet wide and just under 8 inches high. The 600C is the most sensitive model in the whole line at 94 dB, which is just fantastic for a center channel. The 500C is the smaller of the two center channels. If the 600C did not exist, we would say this is a no-brainer, as it is also a 3-way design and very sensitive at 92 dB. Unless you can't fit the 600C into your space, that's the one you should get. However, the 20-inch width of the 500C is more ideal for a lot of home theater cabinets. Don't get us wrong, while we think the 600C may be the very best value in a center channel, the 500C is another remarkable performer. We love the fact that all of these models have the exact same speaker drivers throughout. Plus, they have identical tweeters. This means in a home theater situation, you will have totally seamless transitions between channels with panning effects sounding like you were there in real life. Paradigm has done an amazing job putting together a line that stands up on its own musically, yet when combined in a home theater system, gives you performance that will be hard to beat for that price. If you have any questions on any of these speakers or any other home audio or home theater gear, be sure to give us a call, chat with one of our experts at audioadvice.com, or stop into one of our Raleigh or Charlotte, North Carolina showrooms. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more great home audio and home theater content. We'll see you next time.